welcome to today's episode of Classic Movie Buffet Theater. First of all, I want to say thank you to all the people that have subscribed to the channel. Those of you that have stayed and waited for me to be able to make videos again, I greatly appreciate it. It has been a long time since I've put out a video, and I do apologize for that. But it's, no internet, and it would take up to 3 days for a video to upload because of a low internet signal and all that stuff. So it was just really complicated to try to upload videos in a timely manner. But now, since I have internet in the house now, it should be a little bit easier to make the videos, and I'm going to try to get back onto a schedule of releasing videos. Now, with that being said, again, thank you all so much for hanging in there. And we're going to jump right into today's movie that I'm going to talk about. And it was an action movie that came out in 1993. And it was directed by a fellow by the name of Sheldon Lettich. Now, Sheldon Lettich did a lot of action movies back in the 90s. Especially ones starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. He did a whole bunch of those. And a few others as well, I'm sure. But today's film that we're going to talk about is called Only the Strong. And it was a film, like I said, it came out in 1993. And it stars the great Mark Dacascos, who plays the character of Lewis. And he also played in such films as Drive. And that was one with Kadeem Hardison, which was not only a good action, a good martial arts film, but also a very funny film. He also played in the disastrous version of Double Dragon. Through no fault of his own, it was a disaster. And he also played a cameo in John Wick Chapter 3, which he was very good in that as well. The film also stars a Stacey Travis, who plays Diana, and she also played in such films as Bandits, which I have not seen that film. I have. If you've seen that film and it's decent, let me know. I'll check it out. She also played in the comedy Mystery Men, which was hilarious. I love that movie. Just for some reason, it just tickled my fancy, I guess you'd say. And she also played in a horror film called The Manor, and I have not seen that. But by looking at the photo of the DVD, I do want to check it out. The film also stars a Paco Christian Prieto, who plays Silverio, and he also played in such films as Street Law, and that was with Jeff Wincott, I believe. He also played in Lionheart with Jean-Claude Van Damme, and he also played in a film called Champions in 1997, which I have not seen that. So I may have to check that one out too. Just a side note, you may hear traffic going by because I'm outside. Sorry about that, but, we'll work at it. We'll work at it. And there's also, I've got down here as an honorable mention, a Geoffrey Lewis, who plays Kerrigan in this film. And he's also played in such films as Wicked Little Things, Maverick, and Double Impact with Jean-Claude Van Damme. The plot for this film is a former Special Forces soldier, Lewis Stevens, returns to Miami to find his old high school invaded by drugs and violence. So, with that being said, we're going to check out the trailer for 1993's Only the Strong. Here we go.
Charles Darwin's theory, natural selection, a general description. Anybody?
How about I naturally select to walk out of this boring classroom?
The kids of Lincoln High had no discipline.
You must think I'm playing punk.
No respect.
Teach him a lesson, man!
no one to look up to.
You had a job you were supposed to do last night.
Until one of their own was crazy enough to take them on.
Mr. Lewis Stevens, former graduate of Lincoln High.
Oh, he must be a loser then.
Okay, let's get started. Drop the bags, drop your skateboard, drop your pants.
He's taking the kids everyone has given up on
Man, you don't know nothing about anybody here.
and giving them something to believe in.
You! I want you to turn that music up. I said turn it up! I like that. The capoeira. Everything starts out with the jingo. It's pretty funny, doesn't it? It's the basis for moves like this. And this. You ready to try this yet?
He's earning something no one knew they had. Respect.
You have a name? Donovan. See you tomorrow, Donovan. Okay. If we don't start trusting them, why should they start trusting us? This world can be about as big as you ever wanted to be, showing you some choices.
Together, they're changing their lives.
Stripping cars is all I know. I'd like to think you're better than that.
One way or another, you're getting in that car.
I'm not your slave.
Changing each other
These were the 12 worst kids at Lincoln, the absolute bottom of the heap. Look at what he's done with them.
and changing their world.
You did something none of us professionals been able to do. You got their attention.
Only the strong.
You're that guy from Lincoln High School.
Yes, sir. And these are my kids.
They're taking the challenge of their lives and turning it into the triumph of a lifetime.
All right, that was the trailer for Only the Strong with Mark Dacascos. At first glance, you think it's a typical B movie with a current or former Special Forces type going out to change the world. Then as you get into it, you see there's some story to it. Yeah, it's predictable, but at least the writers attempted to make a watchable story. The martial arts choreography is great, especially in the Brazilian style of martial arts, especially if the Brazilian style of martial arts is new to you, which when I first watched the film, it was very new to me, and I found it to be just an incredible form of martial arts. I was totally enthralled with the story itself in watching the film, and I thought it was great. The movie is solidly made and features an upbeat tone of music. Dacascos is in top condition, both physical and with the martial arts. The movie is light fun and undemanding, and an absolute joy to watch. And it was. I thoroughly enjoyed Big Truck. I thoroughly enjoyed the story itself. The story being told, Severio, played by Paco Christian. Severio was a great villain. He was one of those that you love to hate, with some of the antics that him and his gang pulled throughout the film. There was even a scene, several scenes in the film, where it shows him teaching the students, Lewis teaching the students the Brazilian style of Kung Fu, and trying to teach them a little bit of self-respect and respect towards others and things of that nature. And Silverio was the cousin of one of the students, which created an inner turmoil there between the two, and it set the story up, basically, just like your regular old action, B movie from back in the 90s, but it was incredible. It was an incredible film. Little side notes here. Capoeira, the Brazilian form of Kung Fu, was invented or Brazilian form of martial arts, was invented in the early 16th century by African slaves in Brazil. The dance moves that were incorporated into the form of martial arts disguised the fact that they were learning to fight. And, that's a pretty cool way to disguise disguise that you're learning the fact to fight, that you're using dance moves as a cover, which is pretty cool. There was a song that was made popular in the film called Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. Now that went on to enjoy newfound fame worldwide when it was used as an advertisement jingle for Mazda from the early 2000s. And if you haven't heard it, I know you have, but if you haven't heard it, it's a pretty catchy tune. You'll hear it throughout the movie when you watch the film. You'll hear it throughout the film. It's pretty cool. Mark Dacascos went on to star in the television version of The Crow, which anybody who knows the story of the movies The Crow knows what happened to Brandon Lee. And, you know, it was supposedly a cursed film. People, you know, Brandon Lee died. There was accidents on set. Even when they filmed the TV series The Crow, there were accidents there too, which was kind of weird. Both Mark and Brandon Lee were both born into the martial arts. Mark was unable to do any promotional work for Only the Strong due to working on Double Dragon right after Only the Strong. Double Dragon was a disastrous train wreck, running way over budget with a schedule that was out of control. So, needless to say, Double Dragon did not do very well at all. I have seen it. I don't want to say it was a total debacle. It had a decent build up story wise, but it was just made too cartoonish for my taste. It would have been better off if they would have went with a less cartoonized version of the film, but you know. Also, Sheldon Lettich, the director, was not satisfied with the movie's fight content, claiming years later in Put Up Your Dukes, a 2010 documentary, that choreographer Frank Dukes did not deliver as creative of martial arts scenes as he was conceptualized. So, we talked about Frank Dukes when we talked about Bloodsport and about some of the allegations that were against him as far as Bloodsport being based on a true story and that kind of thing. So apparently just the debacle followed him all throughout his career. He put forth that he could do this and he could do that, but in the end, it never was conceived that he could do half the stuff that he claimed. So he was blacklisted, more or less, I would say, by a lot of directors and action film people from back in the day. So there goes that out the window. I'm not saying Frank Dukes was a total terrible person, that he had no talent whatsoever in the martial arts or anything like that. I can't judge that. I've never seen the guy fight or anything or direct a choreography scene or anything like that, so I can't say, but he was pretty much blacklisted by Hollywood because of all this stuff, this debacle coming out about him. So, you know, who knows where all that goes. But with all that being said, if you have not seen Only the Strong, you will enjoy it, especially if you enjoy the martial arts type films as much as I do. I found it quite enjoyable. The storyline was easy to follow. Yeah, it was predictable in some spots, but the martial arts, the choreography, the fight choreography in the film was incredible. The way they did it, the way they filmed it, the way it was acted out by Mark Dacascos, who forever will be one of my favorite martial artists simply because of this film and some of the other films that he did thereafter. He was excellent in the Crow series. And I always looked forward to more stuff of him coming out. And when I seen him in John Wick Chapter 3, my mind was blown. I was like, dude, he is still kicking. and still kicking it hard too. Because I mean, the scene that he had in John Wick Chapter 3 was basically incredible, the way they filmed it. He does an amazing job with the martial arts and filming the martial arts and all that. He's an incredible actor. Incredible actor. So with that being said, if you haven't seen this movie, definitely check it out, especially if you're a fan of the martial arts films. I thoroughly enjoy it. I still watch it off and on from time to time, even now. It's an incredible film. I enjoyed it so much, and I think you will too. I think you will too. Now, going forward, I know today is Monday. It's not a usual day for a Classic Movie Buffet Theater video, but I wanted to put out some kind of content to let you guys know that I am back and that I will be making content. I hope you enjoyed this show today. I do plan on putting out a Mikey's Saturday Nightmares and sticking with that. There may be another video before then. I'm not sure just yet. I might throw in another Classic Movie Buffet Theater, or maybe a Mikey's Movie Rampage, where I discuss a new movie that's coming out, or I may do a review of one that I've seen here recently that just got released, that some of you may have already watched. So I may do that too. But I'm back, folks. I'm back, and I'm going to start putting out content now on a pretty regular basis. I will give you a schedule, hopefully, next week. I don't think it's going to change very much, but just in case you're new and you don't know what the schedule was, I may start it back up next week and just give you an idea as to when new videos will be coming out and that kind of thing. I tried to keep you guys posted as much as I could on YouTube in the post section, but I think I posted something that I was going to have 2 videos coming out, which I never got to make because it was just taking too long for them to upload. And then I got what do they call it? They had a glitch in the download, so it wouldn't even try to download. So I had to let them go. But I may try to redo those and post those in future, because they were just a Classic Movie Buffet and a Saturday Nightmare, so it's not like it was anything new that was getting ready to come out or anything like that. So I can go back and redo those and just repost them and let you watch those. But thank you so much for joining me this evening. Like I said, I'm sorry about all the background noise, whatever's going on, people mowing and stuff, but I just wanted to put out a video to let you know that I am back and I will be putting out more content. I still have a list of scary movies or horror films that one of the subscribers had sent me to go through on Saturday Nightmares, and I do intend on going back to that list. So if he's still a member, which I think he is, if he's still a subscriber, hang in there, dude. I'm getting some more of your movies that you picked out. And if anyone else has any kind of movies that they would like for me to do on the channel, leave a message down in the comment and let me know. And I'll definitely get to them when I can. I appreciate everybody who has stayed. Those of you that do comment, like the videos, I appreciate all that. Anything that you guys do is well appreciated, even if it's bad. I mean, even if, it's not to your liking and you decide to voice your opinion on it, that's fine too. I appreciate you making the comment. And I do read the comments. I try to leave a like, maybe even subscribe, maybe even reply to some of them when I can. So I do read the comment section. So if you feel like leaving a comment, good or bad, leave me a comment. Let me know you're watching. I greatly appreciate it, and try to get this out there so we can get some new subscribers. I believe we're up to like 107, which is really good. I appreciate each and every one of you for sticking in there and hanging with me. And I will see you guys, if not later on this week, I will see you Saturday for Mikey's Saturday Nightmares. Until then, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.